In Kalama Sub-County, Machakos County, a quiet revolution in education is unfolding. Learners with critical physical needs who once faced isolation now have a chance to learn thanks to a bold initiative by Kombuni Primary School. One teacher goes beyond the classroom, bringing education directly to the homes of children who cannot walk to school. Our reporter Electin Odera followed Damaris Mbithe's journey in bridging the inequality gap in education and details in the following report. The story was produced in the course of the third term.
In the heart of Machakos, the thirst for education runs deep, not just among the determined, but among the physically vulnerable. Children who cannot walk, who cannot speak, who cannot sit upright, yet still dream of learning. Meet teacher Damaris Mbithe. Her passion for special needs education has turned her into a lifeline for dozens of children across Kalama Ward.
Teaching them, their memory is developing, their fine motor skills.
At Kombuni Primary School, she teaches an integrated PP1 class. Among her learners is 3-year-old Gloria Momo. Gloria was born healthy, but at 6 months developed hydrocephalus, a condition that causes fluid accumulation in the brain. A shunt was inserted to manage it, but her mobility was affected.
The condition is not worsening because he has been medicated, and a shunt is draining the water from the head to the kidney. Now he is now stable. You can see the head is not becoming more heavy than he can manage.
After visiting her home, Damaris encouraged the family to bring her to school, but learning in a regular classroom proved difficult, so Damaris extended her teaching to Gloria's home. The terrain at school is rough. At home, Gloria's grandmother, Regina Motiso, crafted a makeshift walker from 2 jerrycans to help her stand.
Sasa nikaona huyu mtoto akiinama hivi nitatafuta ugonjwa ingine ya mkongo. Sasa nikatafuta fundi akashikanisha hii mitungi ikakuwa ya size yake. Sasa huyu mtoto anatembea na hii mitungi miwele hivi.
Damaris doesn't stop here. She travels by motorbike, sometimes walking long distances to reach other learners in remote villages. In her hands, a simple maize stalk becomes a therapy tool used to stimulate movement in children with severe cerebral palsy. 14-year-old Eunice was born healthy, but at age 2 developed complications. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Her mother, Jacqueline Mwende, carries her daily, a routine that has become a form of bonding and communication.
Naona nikimuita Eunice ananiangalia na akacheka. Nikajua anajua venye nimemwambia.
Until recently, Eunice had only received physical therapy. Now, thanks to Damaris, she's receiving education therapy, and for the first time, she can smile.
Mambo, unacheka? Mambo.
Damaris walks on under the scorching sun, determined to reach every disabled child in Kalama Ward.
We have some challenges like the parents. They can become very uncooperative. They don't see anything good out of their child who is disabled. They compare themselves with those parents who have children who are considered to be normal, and they get stigmatized, stereotyped.
In a quiet homestead, just a few kilometers from Kombuni Primary School, we meet 17-year-old Mbithe, a girl living with cerebral palsy, surrounded by the love of her grandparents. Here, the family's backbone is Mbithe's grandfather. At 114 years old, he is, ironically, the breadwinner. His age defies expectation, yet his strength and commitment remain unwavering. Nahum has just finished weaving sisal ropes, a skill he's mastered to help support the household. Now, he's helping prepare supper, cracking open nzou pods with determination. His efforts ensure Mbithe finds comfort, food, and a sense of normalcy. According to the aunt, Mbithe's condition worsened due to delayed school enrollment and lack of early exposure. But things are changing.
Akakuwa mudhaifu na kile kilichomfanya hivyo alikadishwa nyumba kwa nyumba sana.
Teacher Damaris now visits regularly, bringing home-based education to Mbithe. Since she started, Mbithe has begun to smile, a small but powerful sign of progress.
She looks aware. Something is happening.
The home-based education program was introduced by Jackson Zioki, the head teacher of Komboni Primary School, faced with the reality that some learners could not physically access the school. He pioneered the initiative to reach them where they are. He explains that the program was born out of necessity. The school lacks facilities to support learners with critical physical needs, and home-based care became the only viable solution.
Right now we have 3 of them who are actively involved in the weekly visits, whereby we spent money on that, because in a day when we are meeting all of them, the teacher spends about 800 shillings, and you know that the school cannot afford that. So many of the times I have to contribute so that they may be able to be visited, and they are also able to. There are some who have grown now. They need sanitary towels.
According to Julius Kisende, the Special Needs Education Officer in Kalama Ward, over 500 children have been screened this year. Yet, only one integrated unit exists. Demand far exceeds capacity. Thomas Etiang from the Agency for Disability in Africa warns that reducing dual funding for disabled learners could collapse the system. He urges the government to consolidate resources under the Ministry of Education. He also notes a rise in disability cases, many caused by preventable factors like untreated snake bites, poor labor care, and delayed cognitive development.
What we would call upon government to do is first to address the concerns that had been raised by the Auditor General in the most recent report, because we noticed that there was a significant allocation of resources that went to the so-called ghost schools. So in the first instance, if that is dealt with, then we will have extra resources that may be allocated to both children with disabilities and those without disability.
For Damaris, education is not just a right, it's a lifeline. Despite funding challenges, she's determined to make inclusive education a reality in Machakos. Electin Odera, NTV, Machakos County.